Hello and welcome back. I'm Shelf Unit and this is my continuing Let's Play of Shadowrun Hong Kong Extended Edition. So, last episode we decided to become Shadowrunners in the employment of Kindly Cheng, and we also talked about some dreams. So let's go back to our... Ooh, what's this? No, we're not supposed to go there, we're supposed to go here. We'll do that later. I'm sure we'll need to go there anyway at some point. So let's go back to our safe boat. Excuse me, and go to our computer, your workstation, and mission computer. The cool blue tones of the workstation's main menu fill the screen. Blinking message in the upper right corner notifies you have 6 unread messages. Wow. Check your inbox for new messages. Welcome to Hioi. From Kindly Cheng. Rain, on behalf of your friends at the Hioi Chamber of Commerce and the Swiftwinds Mahjong Parlour, I welcome you to the community of Hioi and our new business venture. I have already lined up 3 jobs for you, the details of each contained on a separate computer message. Remember to check your messages often, as I will update you with new opportunities as they occur. RTC. Mail your mission computer. From Isabel. Hey Rain, I've set up your mission computer to automatically collect and collate news reports, information and media that might be of interest to you. Some of the keywords I've got trolling for are things like Raymond or Duncan, Walled City, etc. I've also patched in a permanent link up to the Hong Kong shard of the Shadowlands BBS. It's a great place to connect with other runners, sell pay data, get news from the street and so on. Don't be shy about taking a look. Resources. I've been instructed to inform you of the various supplies present in Hioi. Kindly Cheng has cultivated a commercial district of well-stocked and trustworthy vendors. Whoever you choose to do business with, you will be in good hands. Ermin Cafe at Club 88 is an excellent resource for acquiring additional weapons, should you require any. If you're in need of magical supplies, go to the Parlour of 5 Phases. If you desire training in the path of the adept, seek out Spider Shen. Spider Shen, she can climb like a spider can. She can help you as well as supply you with any close quarters weapons you might desire. Crime Alley can supply you with cybernetic enhancements and medical supplies. The proprietor of 10-Armed Ambrose is a cyber surgeon of some repute. Blaw's Techno Palace is a Wambone run supplier of local decking community, and the place is hard to miss. Just look for a sign glowing in the sky. You need drones, reliable Matthews Robot Bazaar is your best bet, and I pity you. Best of luck in the shadows. As fresh meat, you are likely to need it. Serial killer. I've got a problem, Rain, and you're going to help me solve it. I do a lot of business with the Wampans. If you're not familiar with that term, I'll forgive you. You are an outsider after all. The Wampans are a tribe of techno-fetishists and deckers who have taken up residence in the Whampoa Garden area of Hong Kong. They make and trade high-tech goods to people from all over the world. A lot of new yen passes through their pasty little fingers, and I make a lot of money brokering deals between them and the smugglers here in Hioi. I've hit a snag, though. The Whampoan elders, their council leaders, are being eliminated by a serial killer. They've asked me to dispatch someone to get the bottom of it and stop the killings. And they're not taking their goods through my turf till I do. So you want to be my proxy, dear. I don't care how you do it, but I need those murders stopped. The Whampoans have a delegate here in Hioi by the name of Maximum Law. Speak with him if you wish to know about Whampoa. He's got a big mouth, but he knows very little of importance. Don't expect much from that half-empty bottle of vinegar. Get your ass down to Whampoa Garden and talk to the elders. Lie, cheat and steal if you have to, as long as they're convinced that there won't be any more murders. I want my cut back and I want it soon. Good, I'll tell the elders you're coming. They don't like outsiders and they might shoot at you if you don't warn them you'll be arriving. Back to route menu. Shadowlands BBS. Post pay data for sale. Excellent. Walk away. Let's go track down a serial killer, but first let's go and buy things. Is there anything up here? Who's this? This is Spider Shen. Spider Shen, Spider Shen. Despite the wind and rain pelting Hioi, the proprietor of this stall, a monk, judging by their outfit, is unconcerned. The monk's expression is indifferent, though hardly placid or serene. Muscles show as tightly wound metal bands beneath the skin, ready to snap in any direction without warning. What's more, the monk's robes are anything but ordinary. Certainly silk makes up the base outfit, but it's paired with high-impact ballistic armor. heavy-duty boots and a bandolier of throwing knives. The table in front of you is armed with arrayed with a wide variety of melee weapons, charms, jade pennants, and other mystical accoutrements. Beneath an awning in the rear are rows upon rows of cages, each having some variety of exotic reptile or insect. These in turn are flanked by jars and boxes of Chinese herbs, incense, powders, and inks. The monk spares you only the shortest of glances as you approach. I am Monk Shen. Most people in Heyo call me Spider Shen on account of the spiders back there. You're not local by a long shot. It's definitely a statement, not a question. What tipped you off? She smirks crookedly, two teeth peeking out from beneath thin lips. Body language. You're not afraid to look at me in the eye for one. For another, your clothes, not in fashion, yet in Hong Kong. Swords, knives, clubs. I sell it all. I make most of these, but if I can't, I've got friends who can. If you need incense or salves for meditation, I make and sell those too. And if your joint's ache, I can give you acupuncture. She places both palms on the table, leaning over it towards you with a wicked grin. So, what can I show you? Let me take a look at your wares. So we've got katanas. Ooh, monk outfit. Armor 3. That's quite good. Right, let's exit that. That's all for now. Let's take a look at my gear. Basic armor 1. Okay, so if we don't find anything better, we'll come back to there. Let's speak to Frederick. Like most troll bouncers, this man is knotted with muscles, but absent of the myriad scars that come with age or indiscretion. His own blemishes are the bony skin growths common to his kind, and a single deep scar across his neck and collarbone. You watch yourself in there, or else we check your aerodynamics. Aerodynamics? Anyone causes trouble, I see how far I can throw. No fighting, no killing, no sex trade. He lifts an arm, flexing. His muscles jump out like a mass of serpents in steel cabling. His arm is easily as thick as most humans' waists. I don't mess around. Fair enough. Let's go to Henry. There's only one way to describe the troll haunting the back of Club 88, weathered. It's as if the man has been carved from granite and then battered by the crash of waves and salty winds over the course of decades. Welcome to Club 88. No killing, no fighting, no sex trade. I can respect that. I'm Moran. I'm Henry Cafe. I suppose I own this place. If you're looking for guns, speak to my wife. If you're looking for farmers, speak to my son Callum. And if you're looking for trouble, you'll be seeing my son Frederick briefly. What would I speak to you about? Nothing, I just steer the ship. What ship? There's always a ship. I'll leave you be. Talk to Callum. Better groomed than most of his kind. The young troll nonetheless ruins the effort with his own blatant drunkenness. His eyes are red and his expression foggy, but he otherwise appears to be high functioning. I'm have a friend. Have a drink, friend, have two. There may be something else to chase it, huh? No, while I'm on the job. You should have my job then. I'm the Prince of Club 88, chosen you might say. Part of the family that owns this place. You're a shrewd one there, and I'm the heir apparent of my birthright to peddle chems to every sniffer that passes through our gates. What do you say? Use something to pick you up or bring you down. Let's see what you've got. Nothing of any use. Goodbye, sir. Hello. The older troll woman has a striking Amazonian quality. When she was younger, she must have really turned heads. Can I help you? You work here? Work, eat, sleep, and crap here. It's my family's place, me and my husband and our 2 boys. Now, do you have business with me? I have no time for window shoppers. What do you got for sale? Let's take a look. Firearms from all over the world, from Aries to Walter, everything in between. You in the market? Let's take a look. Let's have a look at my equipment. I've got an AK-97, which 8L24. Okay, well, confirm that. Okay. Come back anytime. Anything else you need? You can tell me about Haoi. There's only one thing you need to know. The corporations do not rule Haoi. You're under kindly Chang's umbrella, and our yellow-loaded soldiers protect the docks and maintain the peace. We're not triad members, and they don't own us. Haoi is a crossroads, where goods change hands and deals are made, but you kindly make the market. We, the families, make it happen. Their mind speaks with the pride of a woman who bows politely to great powers, but never prostrates herself before them. Families rebuild this place when it was left to rot. Strong families like mine, and we protect our own. Outsiders and corps know what tangling with Haoi is more trouble than that we are worth. Triads know it's better to work with us than against us. And now you know these things as well. You do well to remember them. Let's take a look. Let's sell our basic armor. And let's have a look at the weapons. Small Uzis. Here we go, this is what I'm after. Identical smart link system. Okay. Range. +1 damage. Fuck it, let's buy it. Goodbye, let's take a look. So let's sell that. Exit. What have we got cash wise? 900, about 1,000 equipment. Excellent. Okay. Let's roll. Let's go. We've upgraded our weapon and our armor. Now, this is very familiar. This is just like Shadowrun Dragonfall. Let's board the train. The MTR doors open as you approach. Head to the Wampo Garden to discover who's killing the Wampoan elders. In addition to your team, your fixer has access to a small network of mercenaries in the Kowloon area. These runners appear below your core team to the runner selection screen and can be hired on a mission-to-mission basis. As you complete missions, both your team members and the available mercenaries will periodically gain access to new equipment and abilities. Any new items, spells, weapons, or weapon abilities that the runner gains will automatically be available for use the next time you take them on a mission. So we've got to take Duncan. And I'll take her, and I'll take Gobbet. About to travel, we will confirm. I think we're just going to go for the standard grouping for the time being, I think. One Bower Garden, a carnival of chrome and neon, rife with every manner of technology and artifice one can imagine. The entire area has the feel of a night market, save that chips are sold in lieu of steamed buns, and vendors hawk the latest drones rather than folk art. Something stalks these streets, hiding just out of sight. It stalks the Wampoan elders, leaders of the band of tax-savvy squatters that have claimed this neighbourhood as their own. The streets smell of ozone and fear, and those Wampoans you pass in the MTR station have a haunted, furtive look in their eye. While the killer has struck only at the elders thus far, it may only be a matter of time before ordinary residents are menaced as well. We have no stash. No weapons are locked. That's Duncan's weapon. So he's got one of those. Sempoival, Smart Link. Yeah, he's got the same as me there. Now they've gone. Okay. Everything good? Screw it. Confirm. The streets of Wampo Garden are slick with rain, glittering under the neon glow of myriad signs and holographic displays. The sky reflects the same glow, painting the white apartment blocks the sickly orange of sodium streetlights. The smell of grilling meat mingles with other rarer scents, ozone, engine oil, and high-tech fabrication facilities. Despite the hour, there are plenty of people out and about. You can hear the calls of street vendors and touts urging people into their stores. Isabel wrinkles her nose, scowling darkly. She wraps her arms tightly around her chest, staring off into the distance. Is there a word for feeling nostalgic for a place you can't wait to leave again? I don't miss this place, but I miss the feelings I had when I lived here. Saudade, maybe? Isabel shakes her head. No, that's not it. It's close, but... She lets the sentence trail off into nothingness, clamping her mouth shut for a moment. Isabel sighs heavily. This place seemed like heaven now to the walled city, like the whole world had unfurled in front of me. And anywhere I turned, there was the promise of a good life. Turned out this place was just as crappy as everywhere else. Everyone was still in it for themselves. Gubba claps her hand on Isabel's shoulder, who flinches and pulls away. That's a great life lesson, I'm serious. At the end of the day, life's a ordeal. You've got yourself and a handful of friends, and that's it. Nothing else. Duncan casts a sidelong glance at Isabel and Gobbett, shaking his head. You've got some strange ideas about life. Sure, life's a meat grinder. Come on, there's got to be more to life than just surviving. Does there? What makes you the authority on that? Isabel waves a dismissive hand. I'm done talking about this, anyway. Isabel turns towards you and points down the street to your left. We're looking for the Wampo and Elders. They're going to be in the Wampo itself. That's the big ship down the street. It's the mall shaped like a boat, right? Isabel nods, lips pursed. That's the one. Somebody thought it would be clever to make a uniquely shaped mall. Okay, so that I assume is there. Okay. Just gonna have a quick look around. Interesting. Well, let's head in. Usually we've got to talk to, but let's talk to Elder NG. This Hawkwound is festooned with small circuits, tiny TRID screens and speakers. The TRID screens display snippets of TRID broadcasts from every corner of the world. Tiny speakers play counterpoint with a susurrus of voices speaking Sparathial, Punjabi, Kazakh, and other languages. Her expression is haggard and she fidgets with her fingers as you approach. Welcome, welcome to the Wampo, my friend. I am Elder NG, and these are the Elders Tang and Ip. NG gestures to the elf and human, who each incline their heads respectfully. Thank you so much for answering our request for help. We had nowhere else to turn. The least I could do. Under Tang's skin, glowing tattoos writhe and change shape. Tigers become cranes and move on to dragons. We are under threat one by one. We elders are being hunted by some monster. As you may have noticed when you arrived, there's been another killing just tonight. Ip crosses his solid chrome arms. Holographic readouts dance constantly over their surface, displaying diagnostic information about their state. Operating temperature, surface pressure and a variety of other minutiae. He looks past you towards Isabel. Your prodigal daughter returned once more. I didn't expect to see you back aboard the One Power in my lifetime, Isabel. When you disappeared, Elder Yetunde was very put out. I'm glad you're still alive. When you choose to walk your own path, I was disappointed, but I still understood why you had to leave. He pauses, tasting the air as he chooses his next words with care. I hope my lessons have helped you prosper. Didn't expect to be back either. Work takes you places, though. Isabel shrugs. A moment later she places a hand on her pistol, eyes trained on Ip's shoes. I don't cart this around for fun, Ip. The lessons kept me alive. Isabel blinks several times, then looks up at NG, her expression clouded. Where is Yetunde anyway? I expected her to be here. NG shakes her head sadly. She reaches out her hand towards Isabel, who shrinks away from it. She's dead. So are Gan and Nakamura. And Tom was killed just tonight. So much blood. You have to stop this from continuing. Isabel's expression remains impassive, but her knuckles grow wide as her hand ball up into fists. That's what we're here for. We'll stop the killings. Thank you, Isabel. And she lifts her hand, wiping away tears from her eyes. What can you tell me about the murders? They started 2 weeks ago. The first to go was Gan. We found him in his apartment, eviscerated. NG swallows, grimacing at the painful memory. He had been torn apart, his head had been ripped completely off, and most of his skin flayed away. There was so much blood it took us a week to clean out his apartment. Tang nods, running his palm over his forehead. The rest have been the same way, always at night, always dismemberment. Each scene is like a nightmare, and every time nobody has seen anything, it's like a ghost. What happened to Tom? The same thing that happened to the rest of the victims, evisceration and dismemberment. He sent a guard to keep people out of his shop, but he'll let you in. When did he die? Sometime early tonight. He locked up his shop, but Ip stopped by to ask him about some skill chips he had. The door was unlocked and inside. Angie lifts her hands helplessly. She opens her mouth, but no words come out. Seeing NG's inability to continue, Ip takes over. Inside looked like a bad horror sim, just like all the other murders. It had to have happened after sundown because I saw his shop was open when I was on my way to get some noodles for dinner. Why didn't you call the police? The Hong Kong police force isn't welcome here. They tried to force us out several times before or come hunting for someone to pin a crime on. We do a lot of favours for local gangs and triads. Handle their matrix security, fix up their gear, make sure they have access to the Hong Kong Shadowrun's hub. We're too valuable a resource for them to lose, so they protect us when the HKPF or anyone else decides we're an easy target. We handle our physical security and we make sure to send the message via the matrix. The last time the HKPF made trouble, we started airing the assistant chief's dirty laundry over the trid. They got the picture and backed off. Made any enemies lately? No, and she shrugs helplessly. None that I can think of. We keep to ourselves. We buy and sell technology. We're not mercenaries or criminals. We're merchants and deckers. And even if someone has cheated in a deal, this kind of response is unthinkable. Whatever did this, it wasn't human. The violence and savagery, it's a monster, whatever it is. Plenty of meta-humans are monsters too, NG. Just because it's horrible doesn't mean it's supernatural. What do the One Bow and Elders do? Isabel snorts derisively. They make rules and kick people out who don't obey them. They're a bunch of petty tyrants, that's what. You're being unfair, Isabel. Our laws are for the good of the community. Tang turns to address you. We keep the One Power and its residents safe. We review trade agreements and with outsiders to see if they're good for the community. We provide a guiding vision, like a town council. You can respect that? I'm glad you understand. This community is fragile and the authorities bear us a lot of ill will. A single misstep could spell our end. I'm the invoker of sprites. I commune with the spirits of the machines and ask them for blessings, and pass those blessings on to the people here. I heal the sick and ensure the feng shui of our habitats is as good as it can be, given our confines. She's a shaman, that's all. She's just got some kooky spin on it. Claims her totem is some kind of all-encompassing machine god that lives in circuitry. Isabel pats her deck, looking at NG. Ancient gods and ancestors are one thing. My deck, it's mine, I built it. The only spirit it's got in it are the ESPs I loaded up with. Angie gives Isabel a look of deep sadness. Just because you cannot see or touch a thing does not mean it does not exist. Just because you do not believe in it does not mean it does not protect you from afar. I can't touch programs either, but at least I can prove they have an effect in the physical world. Your superstitions are just that, bullshit. Isabel glances at you, drinking a thumb towards Tang. This guy treats drones like they're living things. What exactly do you do, Tang? Tang extends his arms, palms up, but as you watch, the tattoos therein shift into complex mathematical formula. I am the first and glorious servo. I study patterns, repair machinery, and teach others how to attune themselves to the wonders of automation. The blessed Autofab is my shop and purview, where we make the drones we use and sell. As for me, I serve as the resplendent voltage spike. It smiles crookedly. That means I shoot people who try to screw with us. It's a fancy title for head of security. That's all for now. It might be wise to ask the residents of Wampoa Garden if they've seen or heard anything. After you've gone to Tong's Sensory Carnival, they may have seen or heard things we have not. Good to know. Okay. Nothing in here. Assume nothing in here. Time to head out. Tong's Sensory Carnival. Porter Lamb at your service. The elders told me that you should be coming. They tell you what happened to Tang? Just the basics. Well, nothing's basic about this. I've seen people shot, stabbed, beaten to death. Hell, I've even seen a corpse that was so dry and desiccated I could have sworn a vampire got to it. None of that got anything on this. Brace yourself and go in. Yeesh. Tong's Sensory Carnival looks like a scene out of a B-grade slasher sim. The cloying scent of incense hangs thick and pungent in the air, emanating from the small shrine in the corner of the shop. Unfortunately, it does nothing to cover up the reek of death and clotted blood. Despite the ragged remnants of Elder Tong littering the floor, the rest of the shop appears to be in good order. At least at first glance, nothing's broken, tipped over, or otherwise ransacked. As you're about to step further into the room, you glance at the ceiling and walls. The blood from Tong's body isn't just confined to where his remains lie. Drying blood is spread out all over the walls and ceiling as well. Fucking delightful. There's what's Tong's body. Tong's body is a ruined mess. The destroyed ruin of his face is barely recognisable. What's left of his body would best be described as savaged. All of his limbs have been torn off and a pile of flayed skin lies next to the remnants of the Wampoan elder. Wampoan's clothing has all been reduced to rags and the tissue by cuts and tears, apparently sustained during the flame. At this point, the only thing holding what's left of his body into a semblance of human form is the hair-thin fibre optics of his cyberware. Gobbet puts a hand over her mouth, speaking in an uncharacteristically serious tone. Sweet heaven, Rain, I haven't seen anything like this since only Wands tried to stash some cred sticks in a devil's rat's nest. Takes a lot to turn my stomach, but we sure have a winner today. This is seriously messed up. I'll second that. This isn't a murder, this is more like a feeding frenzy. If it weren't for the skin, I'd say Tong stepped on a goddamn mine or something. We've got nothing. Have Gobbet do it. You're the boss, man. This is going to be unpleasant. Gobbet closes her eyes, taking a deep breath. After a moment, she opens them again and makes a strange grunting noise. There's no fear, Rain. No anger either. Just this kind of satisfied feeling. Tong never saw it coming, and whoever did it was professional about it, which is pretty odd because nobody's professional about eviscerating a body as far as I know. You mean the murder wasn't some kind of animal attack? I don't know why the killer was after Tong, but it definitely wasn't any kind of mad, mindless creature or even someone particularly passionate. It was somebody who planned this and executed it and was glad about it. I don't know, he kind of feels that it was just business as usual. Okay. Now let's take one quick look at the bloody wall. The walls are covered with splattered and smeared blood, most of which is hardened into a crusty congealed paste. Thick tracks of it run laterally. It looks as if the blood has been deliberately smeared. Hey Ren, I don't know a whole lot about science and all that, but I know what blood looks like when it hits a wall, and this isn't natural. Somebody deliberately smeared blood all over these walls. See how it looks like it's got paint trails? Because somebody used tongue's parts like a brush. So they painted his walls with blood? Why? Do I look like a psychologist to you? Maybe because they're freak. Maybe they're one of those sick serial killers that sees their murders as art. I got no clue. All I know is what blood looks like on a wall. And this ain't it. Some people have a bad grasp of art. I knew this guy in Guangdong who used to make music out of stray radio static and panic button calls. Called it a crisis wave. It was awful. Okay. So I think we're going to leave it here. Thank you ever so much for watching, and we shall try and solve this murder next time. So thank you once again. Please subscribe if you enjoyed. If not, do not worry about it. Thank you again. Goodbye.